Good night, class. Okay, so this week's topic touched on simulation in nursing. As far as simulation, have I ever had any experience in simulation lab? Yes, I did. My only opportunities were during skills day at work, where we did have interactions with the high fidelity mannequin. It was a pretty good experience, with the simple fact that it gave us an opportunity to interact with one another, to have that engagement, and okay, what would you do next? What do we think is going on with the patient? But the negative that we did have is, I felt that because it was not a real life patient, that some of my coworkers were a little slow in responding and not taking it as seriously, because they felt, oh, well, this is not really a live person. But I told them to look at it in the situation. If it was a real life person, you would move and react much quicker. So we need to look at it in that aspect, that this is something, that a person that's real. So we need to prepare and know we would react much quicker and to try and save this person's life. Okay, and as far as the readings, it was great to see the different ways that simulation lab is used in different nursing school, as far as the high fidelity mannequin, the role playing, and then of course one of the other schools touched on the fact that they're now using virtual reality as well, where there's rooms that the students can go into. The three important ways that simulation can be used in nursing education. I think simulation allows students, I guess, to have a better understanding and concept of why do we do the things that we do, and that way they can have engagement with each other, and they learn by doing, or actually being in groups together. And as for another reason, I think the simulation lab allows students to practice invasive procedures correctly without harming anyone, and they understand the concept of what is it that was done, whether it was done correctly or incorrectly. And another thing I think that's great about the simulation lab is the fact that students have an opportunity to build on their critical thinking skills as well. As far as do I think simulation lab prepares the students for clinical rehabilitation? Yes, it most definitely does, because it allows them an opportunity to practice these skills beforehand, before they go into the clinical setting. That way they are more prepared and they have more confidence in themselves, because they've actually done it before. And another thing that it does allow simulation lab, it allows students to, after they've done the procedures in the lab, it allows them to have that moment to debrief and to think to themselves, okay, what is it that I could have done differently, and whether or not they did it incorrectly. Nobody's judged. It's just a learning experience, and we can grow from that point on. And as far as if I had a student who I felt was not participating in the lab, what would I do? I said, well, I would just pull them aside. I'd have a one-on-one with them and ask them, why is it that they're not taking it seriously? I want to explain to them that the simulation lab gives them an opportunity to role play in regards to being able to care for a patient, whether the patient is critically ill or not, but it gives an opportunity to learn in a safer environment, and that way they can build on their critical thinking skills, so by the time they do get to the hospital setting, they're fully prepared and know what it is to do, and it's not all of a sudden they're just thrown in and they're very anxious and nervous. So this gives them an opportunity to learn by doing and making mistakes, and if the problem persists, then of course then I'd have to figure out what else is going on with the student. Why is it that we're having such a difficult time? And that's it. Thank you.